Okay, so this batch of books healed me, broke me, and made me question reality. Also, the next video is going to be a singlet video, so y'all better lock in, you know what I'm saying? Hey guys, it's me Hannah. Welcome back to another video. So yes, that intro was different. It's because I want to make this video short and I want to finish this series that I've been doing for like 6 months, I think. So here are the books I reviewed in the first video, and here are the books I reviewed in the second video. So without further ado, let's go into the third part of this series. So the first series that I'm going to be reviewing is the Housemaid series, and the first book is obviously The Housemaid. So before I tell you guys my thoughts on this book, let me tell you guys a summary or like a plot overview of this book. So there's this desperate girl called Millie, and she gets hired as a live-in maid for this really rich and wealthy family. The wife is something, and the husband is serving bare minimum attractiveness, with a side of secrets. And she's told not to open the door upstairs, which means that she's obviously going to open the door. And soon she realizes that the family's secrets are more dangerous than hers. Okay bro, this book literally had me pacing like I was the maid in the book. For some reason I did not even predict the plot twist coming. I have no idea why. And I was hooked, bro. Freida McFadden, literally she writes thrillers for the girls who want chaos and will forgive plot holes if the tea is enough. This was actually a pretty good read, and if you want to read books that are not written by Holly Jackson, because she is the supreme queen of writing thrillers, and if you have read all her books, go check out Freida McFadden's books. She's a really good writer. And if you feel that I'm going too fast with these reviews, yes, okay. The first thing is I really want to finish the series. Second thing, I don't want to make this video too long. And the third thing is, there's no storage on my phone. Not on my phone, on this phone. I don't have a phone. So the second book is The Housemaid Secret. So Millie's back, okay, and then she gets a new job in this fancy penthouse where the husband is like, my wife is not at home, which is kind of weird. But then she starts to hear noises, which leads her to the obvious conclusion that the husband was hiding the wife. Then things start to spiral and Millie starts, explore the house and all the secrets. And the plot goes full speed mode into wait, what the heck is happening? Okay, so the plot twist of this one was basically the opposite of what happened in the first book. Kind of predictable, but it was really good. Like the ending was so good, and that bracelet scene, with the W, if you know, that was so. The moment I read that page, I was like, oh my god, no way Wendy did that. This was also a very good read. Okay, so the third book of this series, I actually started reading that book, in 2025. So unfortunately, I cannot include that in this video. So the next book I'm going to be reviewing is The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. So it's Valentine's Day. Again. And again. And again. So Emily, the main character, literally wakes up in a time loop. Her boyfriend cheats, her day is trash, and she's stuck reliving it like a cursed rom-com DVD. But then she meets Nick, the grumpy guy who doesn't do feelings for some reason. And they start spending their cursed days together. Okay, this was my first ever rom-com book. I don't know why I expected someone to murder somebody in the middle of the book. But I don't know. I don't know why I expected, a big plot twist to happen where someone was secretly a murderer. Because I don't know, okay? Probably because I've been reading so many thriller books, and as I said, this is my first rom-com book. But there were scenes that had me giggling, kicking my feet. It was a great read, okay? If you like rom-coms, Lynn Painter is the queen, okay? You should know that. And I also have Better Than the Movies. I think I bought this in 2024, I'm not sure, but I didn't finish reading it. Like I said, while I was reading all these books, I didn't really have interest in rom-coms, and it kind of seemed boring at the start, but I've seen a lot of good reviews about this book, so I'm excited to finish it. So the next book I'm going to be reviewing is The Inheritance Games. So Avery is just your average broke girl until some billionaire literally dies and leaves her his whole fortune. And the cat, she has to move in, this creepy mansion and live with the dead guy's hot but chaotic grandsons. There's riddles, there's clues, secret passageways, a lot of them. And, family drama, tension, and literally everyone is flirting with Avery or trying to kill her. Or both. Listen, I didn't come here to simp, okay? But I stayed to simp. Grayson Hawthorne, bro, I hated him at the starting of the book, but in the ending I was like, okay. And Jameson, I loved him at the start of the book, but at the ending, I'm not sure what to think. And the wordplay on Avery Kylie Graham's, a very risky gamble, that was insane, like so creative, so smart. I had a heart attack. Yeah. But hats off to the writer, really. So the next book I'm going to be reviewing is You've Reached Sam. So Julie's boyfriend suddenly dies. She's grieving, she's spiraling, and she's literally skipped his funeral. Then suddenly she gets the idea to call Sam's number just to hear his voicemail, except he actually picks up. Yeah, her boyfriend, who is dead. They talk a lot. She can't let go and he can't move on. No. Okay, I didn't even finish the book. Okay, and I bought this I don't know, it was so long ago. It was just so boring. Okay, like each chapter she's like, one chapter Julie's like, oh my god, leave me alone, my boyfriend's dead. And the next chapter she's like, Sam, I miss you, Sam. That's why I didn't finish reading it. But I've heard really good reviews, but I don't know why I don't like it. It's really boring. I had to push through, half the pages in the starting. If you guys have read this book, make sure to give me an honest review in the comments. I was literally like, girl, hang up the phone, he's dead. So the next series I'm going to be reviewing is the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. So first I'm going to be doing the first book, which is Once Upon a Broken Heart. So Evangeline Fox is a hopeless romantic with a flair of drama, and she makes a deal with a little fate named Jax, also known as the Prince of Heartbreak and Questionable Decisions, basically to stop her crush from marrying her stepsister. Because obviously, that's normal. Now Evangeline is neck deep in curses, creepy fairy tale magic, and Jax being sketchy and hot. Evangeline is all heart and Jax is all chaos. Jax is basically a Disney prince who will ruin your trust issues. I screamed and I swooned, bro. That scene where he turns into a vampire, when I kid you not, when I read that in the book, I screamed. Okay, that was my heart, bro. This was actually a really good read. It's whimsical and it's magical. So the second book is The Ballad of Never After. Evangeline and Jack are back, but surprise! The consequences of their decisions are literally haunting everyone. They're searching for something magical that might fix everything. But along the way, they unlock curses, betrayal, and Jax being the biggest menace ever. The fairy tale is falling apart fast, and Evangeline is too. This book shot me in the feels and laughed. Bro, that ending, I need the last book. The banter and the tension are so good, and you will trust no one. Beautiful, tragic, and impossible to stop. Okay, the next few books are by a very controversial author. So before I start reviewing them, I want to let you guys know that people have their own opinions. I respect yours, so you should respect mine as well. I read these on my Kindle, by the way. So the next book is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. Okay, so Lily meets Ryle. He is hot and successful. They are living the Pinterest relationship aesthetic until things get toxic. Like dangerously toxic. And the story spirals into like a deeply personal and emotionally intense reflection on abuse and love. This book is emotional damage wrapped in floral cover art. A lot of people have been hating on this book, because of the author. I mean, it was okay, but I think if it was written by another author, it would have received, more love. It's real and it punches feelings in your stomach. And there's a lot of trauma. Really, you can't go and collect red flags like they're petals or something. So the next book is It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover, which is the second book of the series. Actually, the summary is basically, her co-parenting, her baby and stuff. Actually, nothing happened really. It was kind of boring. It's basically, about growth and choosing peace and whatever. So there's not much to talk about this book. I didn't really like it that much because it was really boring. The next book and the final book which I'm going to be reviewing is Layla by Colleen Hoover. So Leeds falls in love with Layla. They're cute, quirky and everything is great. Then, boom, she gets attacked and she starts acting a bit off. Like, personality switching. And suddenly ghost activity enters the chat. And Leeds, bro, he starts catching feelings for the ghost. Not Layla. The ghost inside Layla. Yes, I wish I was joking. This book is paranormal, it's romantic, it's actually really good. Like, as a person who doesn't like Colleen Hoover, this was a good read. The plot twist, I did not see that coming. The main guy needs therapy